Okay, let's cross a culture. We've got that practiced. We're practicing the eye, the ear thing, and we're noticing things more and more, and we're visualizing things that could happen, etc. Now let's do it in another country. Number one, language. Learn as much of the language as you can before you go. Why? Well, this should be kind of obvious. You can't listen to conversations going on around you in a language you don't understand. So the more of the language you have before you go, the better prepared you are to actually practice those skills that you were doing in your own culture before you got on the plane and crossed over to that other culture. So revisit the lesson on language learning, pick up a phrase book, get an app on your phone, and click the listen stuff so you're actually hearing the words said and practice saying them over and over and over. Especially words that have to do with health, like I'm going to be sick. The more language you have, the safer you'll be in the culture because you can do more things for yourself. And that in and of itself helps you to build your new safety net. Okay? Language. 2, culture. Now the businesses call this pre-travel intelligence gathering. That just means learning about the culture before you get there. I've used a book called the Personal Travel Safety Manual. That works. It's pretty good. There are others out there. It's a general book. It covers most of the bases. But once you're done with that book, I want you to find a book specific to the culture you're going to. And the absolute best place that I've ever found to do this, and I send my students to this website all the time, is called Intercultural Press. I put it up here. I'm going to put it in the PDF. Intercultural Press. Type that baby into Google here. Google it and find yourself a book specific to your culture. Don't just do that book. Do a general book so you get the big picture. But a specific book on China culture, on Asian culture, on Islamic culture, on French culture, on Canadian culture, Australian culture. This is a fantastic press for coming up with those types of things. Find one of those books and read it, preferably before you go if possible. And as you're reading that specific book on your specific culture, notice the holidays. The holidays will tell you a lot about your date's culture. Notice whether the holidays turn violent or not. I know one holiday in Ireland in July, it always turns violent. Just don't go there. Learn about that holiday and then don't go there at that point in time where they're having that stuff. Notice how the holidays play out between cultures within the country you're going to. Notice the differences in local dress and body language between that culture and yours. Here's the rule for learning another culture and living in another culture. Adapt, adapt, adapt. Clothing, food, body language, mannerisms. Notice how you walk down the street. Notice whether you hold your head up or whether you dip it down. Notice whether you look people in the eye or whether you glance away. Notice what the other culture does. Learn the specific culture you're going to. You're also probably going to want to read up a little bit on politics and religion in the country you're going to. Every culture's different, every country's different, and sometimes the politics and the religion can mix and there can become very volatile. You're going to want to know that and ask yourself, what is the culture I'm going to not like about any other cultures close to it or even inside that culture? That'll take a little bit deeper reading inside your specific book. Have the courage to ask those questions. What are your politics and your religion like without getting into a big, long discussion about who's better? No, that's not the point. The point is you learning about what's going on in that country, of how they think of other cultures when it comes to politics and religion, for your safety's sake. You don't want to get involved. I'm going to give you a website. It's called travel.state.gov, and it will show you almost every culture there. It'll give you warnings of what's going on in other countries. Is there a civil war? Is there unrest? Is the economy really good? Is this a good place to go? Is the exchange rate okay? Check this website out specifically for your country, culture, and the countries around where you're going. Now, this website's open to anybody who wants to find out about where they're going. But let's notice something. Let's be really honest about this. We all want to believe that everybody loves everybody, but that's not reality. You may love everybody, but I'm pretty certain not everybody loves you or loves everybody else out there. You may be the exception of loving everybody, but that's not safe. What's safe is keeping your awareness up of I'm not going to be damaged by somebody who loves me. I'm not looking for people who love me. I'm looking for people who don't love me. And that requires diligence in awareness. So when you arrive in your new culture, new country, geography becomes very important. You need to learn how to get around in that culture. There's a stream here, there's a building there, there's a mountain there. You should probably use the map you've already bought along with GPS. And transportation. Do you know the transportation lines? And what about money? What about the right kind of money? Do you have the right kind of change to get on this bus or get on this train to go from here to here? Geography is important as to how long it takes to go from here and here. You're going to want to know that. Now, what if you find yourself in a spot? You got yourself into a pickle. You went down the wrong alley. You went up the wrong stairs. You're in the wrong neighborhood. What are your resources for getting out? Who can help you? And do you have their telephone numbers? Maybe even memorized, as opposed to, wait, don't attack me, I need to check my phone here first. You should probably already know how when you're backing away and backing away, you've got a phone out and you're already dialing the number because you've already got it memorized. Second, before you get there, you need to learn everything you can about your own consulate. Now, an embassy exists in a country to promote the interests of their own country. They're not really interested in you living there or going there as a tourist. They might help you, but that's not their purpose. Their purpose is to promote their own country in a foreign country. But a consulate is there for its own citizens living in a foreign country. So you really need to find out the address, the phone number, the times they're open of the local consulate that's the closest to where you're going to be. They usually will bend over backwards to help you. What they don't like is stupidity. You should never have lost your passport. You should have always made copies of those things. Okay, you can lose a suitcase at the airport, and you might have to go to the consulate to figure that out. But that's what they do. They help you when you get in a pickle in a foreign country. So if you find yourself in danger in some way, can you make it to the consulate? Know where you are and where the consulate is, and try to get there. It usually is a safe spot in a foreign country for you. Your third option, of course, is your own nationals. You may have met some friends of your own country and you have their phone number. You could call them for help. That's an option. Your fourth option could be the local police. But from country to country, the police can be good or not so good. When we were in St. Petersburg, Russia, 18 years ago, we were told that you trusted the mafia because they would do what they said they would do. You didn't trust the police because you couldn't tell if they would do what they said they would do. We found that shocking, but that's how the people lived at that point in time. The local police sometimes are not there for the personal citizen, and sometimes they're really not there for foreigners, depending on the culture, depending on the country. Figure that out ahead of time and use them as a last resort. And I'm not speaking about any one given culture, and Russia may have changed since then. I'm just saying that is one of your resources for help, but it probably should be toward the lower end of your resources.